Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and don't forget to subscribe. I promise you will enjoy the content that I give you. Okay, let's get into it. So today is a very sad anniversary. Today is 9/11. It's been 20 years since that tragedy happened, and at the time that it happened, because clearly it was in 2001, I was 7 years old. I was in the 2nd grade, and I just remember chaos all over the news, and I really didn't understand at the time like what was going on because I was 7 years old. I remember coming home. My mom was in distress because she has family in New York and she's trying to get a hold of them, and all I see in the news is just chaos. Chaos. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, what is going on? And I remember this was on the news all day, and just the footage of the building coming down and like terrorist attack, like these are the things I just remember. And I just know that a whole bunch of people died that day. And like I said, as a 7-year-old, you really can't truly comprehend what happened that day. It's just like, you know, bad things happened. You don't know why they happened. No one knows why they happened. But it happened. And it was a very sad day. It was a very sad week. And I say all that to say because it's been 20 years. 20 years fly by super fast, because I still remember vividly like my teacher turning on the news and then kids leaving out from our school to go home because I guess, you know, their parents understood, okay, there's clearly a terrorist attack in America right now. We don't know what's going to happen. Let me get my loved ones, you know? And so last night, there's this new documentary that came out on National Geographic, and it's called 9/11, but it's called 9/11 a day. Let me look it up for you guys. I haven't finished it. It's more of like, it's like a series. It's really good. I guess I didn't look it up on here, but it's on Hulu, so check it out. It's really good. It's probably ever since 9/11 happened, I probably always watch the documentaries that come out because there's always new footage, always new things that are coming out every year. But this one is being told in full by survivors of, you know, that day. And as I'm watching it, I start to watch it, you know, there's the chief of the firefighter at the time talking, somebody that worked at the restaurant, someone who was at the Marriott Hotel when the South Tower collapsed, and just different people talking throughout this documentary. And I'm just like, I know that there's evil in this world. I know that. And it's not gonna get better. Got that. I personally, Nicaise, just can't wrap my mind around what happened, you know? And I get it, some people are just evil, but I'm just the 19 terrorists that was on there, the people that's from Al-Qaeda, like, I really want to go like and understand their thought process as to, not only am I going to kill innocent people, but I'm going down with it too. Like, I understand that sometimes people in these countries, they are raised in this like environment to be a terrorist, and from childhood they're kind of trained and to know that at some point they're going to be murderers, you know? And I'm just like, what in your brain thinks that this is okay? And I was watching this, and I was watching it with Joseph, my husband, for those who don't know. He's actually from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised there. And when this happened, he was in the 5th grade, and he could see the towers from his classroom. So I was asking about, you know, his experience, like what happened. And he's like, you know, he saw when it was on fire, and of course everybody from the school had to evacuate. It was just a lot of chaos. He just knew everything was bad as well, and everybody was just trying to get home. And I'm just like, hearing these people speak about their experience, I feel, of course you could, if you don't feel bad about what happened, you probably have evil in your heart. Like, I don't understand how you not feel bad. I feel like this was a time for people to come together, which they did. And I'm just like, I get it. A lot of people hate the US government. I understand that, right? And I get that you want to make a statement. Literally, I'm just sitting here trying to wrap my mind around like these terrorists. Like, I don't get it. So I'm literally telling my husband, I'm like, I get that, you know, a lot of countries don't like us. Like, I know that. I think as regular citizens, we maybe, you can say that you're proud to be an American and stuff, but just know a lot of countries don't like us, right? And I get that you're trying to make a statement, and you know, there was 4 planes for 4 targeted, you know, buildings and stuff like that at the time. And I'm like, not saying that I'm ever okay with someone killing somebody else, but if you have a problem with the government, deal with the government. Why are y'all taking literally innocent lives that has nothing to do with whatever beef you got with the US government at the time? You get what I'm saying? And I guess if you're truly trying to make a statement, because as I'm talking, I'm thinking at the same time. I guess if you really are trying to make a statement, you will hurt the citizens of the country, and you know that will be problematic. But like, damn, it's so bothersome to me. Like, anytime I watch any documentary dealing with murderers, or not even drug dealers, just murderers, or like people that's not right in the brain, I'm just like, I really want to understand their minds. I really, really want to understand, because I'm just like, I can't fathom, not even an inkling. Some people can piss me off, but the thought of them, just me killing them, never crosses my mind. And I'm like, how are you okay with this? Like, I want to know, when you were walking through this airport, at any moment in time, did you feel like this is wrong to do? But it's like they had a mission. And then when I'm looking at the footage, how fast you see the plane hit these towers, it's like, dude, you wanted to make sure that everything, just that beautiful day, just went terrible. And I know, as I'm watching this as well, I'm like, babe, when it's your time to die, it's your time to die. And when it's your time to live, honey, you gonna live. And the reason why I say that, because some of the people that were talking, there's no way they should be alive right now. And so again, I asked my husband, I'm like, do you think the people who survived, do you think they believe in God now? Like, not just God, but like, do you think they believe in Jesus? And he was like, I mean, I don't see why not. But then somebody else gonna say, well, why did God allow this to happen? And it's just, it's so frustrating, because it's not like, we live in a world where this earth does not belong. The devil's having his field day on this earth, from the bombings, from the war. And it's like, people want to blame God, but it's like, no, there's God, and there's, you know, there's Satan too. And he's the ruler of this world, of this kingdom that we're living in. And it's just like, when you're meant to be alive, God will truly spare your life. And I was just hearing, like, there was this one guy, his name was Stanley, and his made me so emotional, because I'm just like, and he was a believer, and I'm just like, man, you're really not supposed to be alive right now, because he was in the South Tower, because the North Tower got hit first. The South Tower got hit second. Yes, the South Tower got hit second. And he was on the floor. He was in the impact zone. Like, what? He literally saw the plane coming towards him. Can you imagine? Like, literally. And I just feel so bad. I just can't. I can't put myself in their shoes, because I don't understand. This man literally was like, because when the North Tower got hit, they wanted to leave the office building, but authorities was telling them to stay put. And as he's in his, wherever he was located, he was like on the 84th floor or something like that. He, like, you know, hears the jet engines and stuff like that, and he sees this plane. Like, you're literally seeing your death right now. You're seeing death come towards you. And so immediately he hides under his desk. Like, he goes under his desk. Boom, crash happens. And he, in his mind, is like, I am not going to make it out today. I am going to die today. If he's not gonna die by him falling, you know, like, there was so many scenarios. He told about 3 different scenarios on how he could have died. But God spared his life through another man that was in the same building. And this other man didn't follow a group. He heard a voice yelling. That was Stanley's voice. Please go watch this documentary. Go watch this documentary if you have access to Hulu. It's there. I'm pretty sure, because today's 9/11, it's gonna be on the front homepage. But I can't. And I was just telling my husband, I'm like, this is not just a one-time incident. These people who survived, like, it's one thing to die and, you know, your life is ending right there. But the survivors, they did not live a peaceful life. It's not like they're like, whoo, the Lord, you know, save me, I'm good. No. These people have real life PTSD. Real life PTSD. Not only that, 20 years is nothing. So I'm pretty sure they still have nightmares, thoughts, or if they drive by a certain, like, if they drive by the Hudson River or the Brooklyn Bridge or whatever, they remember this stuff. One of the EMTs on there, he was like, every time he crossed the Brooklyn Bridge, he just wanted to drive off the bridge because he couldn't handle that day replaying in his head. Oh, Jesus. I just feel so bad. Like, I just wanted to jump in and just be like, yo, I want to give everybody a hug, because, and I'm pretty sure my hug probably won't mean anything to them, but PTSD, probably lifelong health conditions, because when both the towers actually collapsed, the dust, the debris that swept that part of the city, child, bodies that like, as I continue to research this stuff, they were like, you know, reported throughout the incident. So all plane crashes and everybody in New York, and I don't know if people died at the Pentagon besides the people in the plane, but they only accounted for 2,977 deaths. But there was a firefighter on there that was like, his partner body was never recovered. And then my husband was like, well, what about all the undocumented people? There's so many lives are probably unaccounted for. So I'm more than sure it was way more than 3,000 people who died that day. And I'm just like, when I think of people dying, I always think of their life after. Like, I always say to myself, man, I wonder if they're in heaven or hell. Like, literally, that always comes to my mind. Like, I've never been a person, if someone dies, I'll say my condolences to the other person, but you'll never catch me here. You'll never catch me saying rest in peace, because I don't know where that person ended up. But I can only think about those families. I'm pretty sure 9/11 is never an easy day for them, because that's the person that they lost the love of their life. So many children without parents anymore. Ooh. Seeing the images of people like jumping off out the building, and in my mind I'm like, yo, it's like, do you want to die fast? Or like, in their mind they're like, do I want to die fast or do I want to die slow? Because like, you jumping off the building, small percentage that you're going to live, because I think everyone who jumped out the building died, because it's like you're slamming into like concrete, steel, all that, and it's either you stay inside or you die from smoke inhalation or you get burned to death. Truly, 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 truly a tragedy. I'm super impressed with all the camera work that these people are able to get. As all the documentaries I've ever, you know, watched on 9/11, it was always like conspiracy type documentaries, but this is like from the survivors, from the chief, and then there's a cameraman the entire time with the firefighter, and I'm like, babe, if that was my job to record these things, there would be no job. Like, from the moment, because he was with the cameraman, I think his name was Jules, he was with this firefighter before like the plane crashed, so he recorded when the first plane crashed into the building. And my thing is, as a firefighter, if I have someone who's not a firefighter with me, I'm gonna tell them, hey, you don't have to record anything anymore, you can go home. That's what I would be like. I'm gonna be thinking about your safety, because the same way I'm thinking about everybody's safety, I'm gonna be thinking about your safety as well. But that cameraman was there the entire time, and I want to know what his job description, his job role is, because I want to know why no one looked at him and was like, hey, you can stop recording now, this is unsafe, you can die. He was there through both collapse, like when both buildings collapsed. I'm just like, wow, he really caught all this footage, still doing his job, because when his lens got dusty, this is all he did was, all right, we still in here. I mean, I'm grateful that he did that, because we were able to see everything that we saw on the footage. Like, we were able to get that footage. But I'm just like, even the news reporter, I'm not going out there. Like, there's just certain jobs I'm not doing. Like, Anyways, that's such a sad day. And I'm glad that this country has not seen something like that since 9/11. We have our own attacks, not necessarily people from outside the country trying to kill us. We've had unfortunate tragedies as far as, you know, school shootings, different type of shootings, like things happening in our own territory. Not saying that's great either, but I just have so many thoughts. Like, the mind of a murderer, like, how's it formed? Why is there not one good bone in your body that says this is wrong, we shouldn't do this? You have no morality in you. Like, and I just wonder how the families are doing to this day. Anyways, go watch the documentary. I haven't finished it. I went to episode 4 and I think there's like 8 episodes, so I'm gonna finish watching it. Anyways, I hope you like this video. Subscribe, and if you know somebody who's ever been impacted by 9/11, like really impacted, I hope you reach out to them and just let them know, hey, I'm here for you, because that's all people really need sometimes. All right, love you guys, but Jesus love you most. Bye.